areas, we have some limits, and we would like to learn from our students which limits we should try to overcome. And in this respect, we would like to invite you to cooperate with us, to travel, to study abroad, to share your experience with us, and especially with your fellow students. We all know, unlike many of other countrymen, that international experience is an enrichment in itself, and it gives us many impulses, positive impulses for our further studies within our programs and also for our future professional careers. I hope that this session will be profitable for you as well as your study abroad stays, should you feel the need to leave Masaryk University and to try it. Please do not hesitate to ask about whatever might be of interest to you. Enjoy.
Thank you very much. And now let's go to our presentation. Well, maybe once you are here, you have already decided why should you go abroad. But let me remind you that you will gain useful skills for your CV. You will get experience, your study experience, not only here, but in different universities in the world. And of course, you will practice your intercultural communication skills. And last but not least, the travel itself is a benefit, and making new friends abroad, it's one of the biggest benefits of study experience abroad. We have several opportunities how to go abroad. You can go for a study, for a semester, or sometimes, but not so often, for a year-long study or internship abroad. You can go to study or work to make your internship abroad. And of course, it has to be related to your area of study. And students in their final years, they can also go for research stay, for instance, to work on their thesis abroad. And we also have some offer of short stays, such as summer school or conferences. If students want to go abroad for a conference, they have to have practice participation in these such conferences. When you are choosing where to go, to which university, you would pick up your destination university according to the country, of course, and you should take into the account also the timeline. The planning of study abroad periods, they are planned quite ahead, so you have to take into account your academic, also your academic and your study here at the faculty, so you will not miss some important study duties here. You should take into account also the competitiveness. There are several scholarship or many scholarship opportunities, and some scholarship programs are more competitive, some are more easy, and well, to start with your study experience abroad, it's advised to start with Erasmus. It offers the most opportunities for our students. And also you should take into account the finances. Although you will get a scholarship, some countries are very, very expensive, and some countries are less expensive, and you will be able to get along with the scholarship you will get from us. And also take into account the length of your study period abroad. What are the eligibility for going abroad? General eligibility criteria is that you have to be active students at the time you are abroad. So please do not interrupt your studies while you are abroad. You will be our Maastricht University students, Faculty of Social Studies student, and your study will be fully recognized here after you come back. At the time of departure, our bachelor students must be minimally in their second year. And unless it's defined otherwise, our offer of scholarships is for bachelor, masters, as well as for PhD students, and both full-time or part-time students. And there are also language requirements at our partner universities. Mostly you have to have B2 or C1 required language level. Of course, you are here studying in English, so your English level is acceptable for all our partner universities, but sometimes the offer is in French, German, or Spanish, so you will have to prove that you have this level of language. And now here is a list of scholarship possibilities. So these are quite a big list of the scholarship programs. They differ sometimes a lot, sometimes a bit, but they are all offered by our university, and the most common, most popular, and most easy to qualify is Erasmus Within Europe program. It's in 26 European member countries, and plus in Norway, Iceland, Liechtenstein, Macedonia, Turkey, and Serbia, which is missing here. And the procedure is following. Our departments have concluded bilateral agreements with more than 200 foreign universities throughout Europe, and these universities offer to our students 1 semester stay abroad. Later on, I will show you the list of the universities, but unfortunately it's not final, because now we are in the process of renewal all Erasmus bilateral agreements, so there will be some changes in near future. Then there is also Erasmus outside Europe. you see the countries you can go within this program. Yes, and this program is organized, and all other programs will be organized by on the whole university level. So not only programs, but selection procedure is also organized. So Erasmus within Europe, there is the biggest number of universities, and selection procedure is within your very department you are studying in. So it's very straightforward. And to Erasmus ICM, you will have to apply and you will have to compete with all other university students, not only within the department or faculty. The same is for partner universities of Masaryk University and the ISEP program. There are also smaller programs such as CPUS. It's an exchange program within Central Europe. And there are also some short-term stay possibilities. Regarding scholarships, here we have listed the scholarship you will get during your stay abroad, and it differs again according to the scholarship program. For instance, Erasmus, within Erasmus you will get around 300 euros per month in so-called cheap countries, and more than 500 euros per month in expensive countries. While these amounts are from European Union, and they have decided what's cheap, what's expensive, so we do not have much influence on that. On the other hand, if you will opt for Erasmus plus ICM, it means Erasmus outside Europe, you will get 700 euros per month no matter where you go, and plus you will get reimbursed your travel expenses. And then we can also support studies at partner universities, either in Europe or overseas. ISEP program, it's maybe I will ask later, or you can ask later Erin, my colleague, who is coordinator of ISEP program. She might tell you more about this program. It's the essence of this program is that Masaryk University is partner of ISEP organization, of universities, and students can exchange with within this organization. And then if you will opt for CPUS program, you will get grant from host university. And there are also small grants for short-term stays abroad, which are provided based on the number of days of the program. And here are the deadlines. So although we are called Erasmus Days, Erasmus deadline is a little far away. It's the selection procedure will take place in February, and you will get closer or more detailed information later during the application process. And now, December 15 is the most important date for those who want to go abroad outside Europe. So we have 3 deadlines for 3 scholarship programs approaching, and it's 15th December. And yes, not only studies, also internships is possible. You can go, the most internships are taken under Erasmus program within Europe, and the difference is that there is no agreement within university and the organization when you want to make your internships. Students have to actively find the organization abroad, and then if they agree on the internship, they can ask for a scholarship. The scholarship is from 480 to 660 euro per month, and applications, deadlines for applications are 4 times a year. The closest application is the end of October. It's too close, but if you are thinking about applying, the 31st January is the next deadline for application, which is realistic. And the Educ, there is a new, totally new opportunity for coming for Maastricht University students to have some international experience. Within Educ, you do not need just to go abroad and spend the whole semester abroad. You can take online classes during the semester at our partner universities. You can spend 1 gap year in France. You can go to intensive summer school. You can take blended courses. So the international experience with this Educ consortium is very variable. Educ is an European alliance that Maastricht University is part of, and you see the universities, partner universities, who are participating in this consortium, and you can spend also the semester at one of these universities, or have opportunity for international experience within this Educ consortium. It's totally new. It was approved really recently, so we do not have so far any graduates. Literally, the opportunities started just this semester. So, but I think that it will be another dimension of internationalization for our students and for our international cooperation. When you are considering your application, make sure that you are able to meet minimum requirements. It means language level, number courses of taken abroad. The Maastricht University rule is that you have to take at least 20 ECTS credits while you are abroad, but sometimes host universities has stricter rules. Sometimes they make you to have at least 30 ECTS. And you have to also look at your study level. Some courses offered by host universities, for instance, are not designed for bachelor students. So when you are choosing, you have to take into the account also this criteria. And think about your goals. If there are enough courses, which I was talking about, and if you are willing to live 5 months in chosen location, but I think if you are willing to live here for the course of your studies, it's going to be easy to change it for another destination. And you should take into the account also the deadlines. The closest deadlines is 15 December from outside of Europe. Scholarship programs, and those who need visa for studying in Czech Republic and Europe, please take into the account also the visa, your visa status. Unfortunately, it happened before that our student who was nominated by us to Great Britain didn't get British visa in the end and couldn't go. So this might unfortunately happen. And students shouldn't go to the home country or permanent residence country. If they go there, they are considered as zero grant students, so they will not be getting funding, and the application will be given lowest priority. And here, it's our last slide. It's contacts, and within this contact, I want to show you also our web page, which have comprehensive information about going abroad at the Faculty of Social Studies. So you see the scholarship programs here, and very detailed explained how to apply. And do we have yes. Oh, these are faculty and department agreements, but Erasmus agreements are. Well, how to apply? Yes. Available, yes. These are available universities. I'm sorry. So here is a list of our partner universities within Erasmus program. The color difference is according to the individual departments, so you can easily orientate in this. So here you can find all partner universities within your department. But as I told, this list is not final. It will be soon changed for the February selection procedure. There will be very similar, and we hope that broader offer of universities. And my last link, it's the link for Centrum for International Cooperation. We call it CZS in short. And they have very, very detailed described all the opportunities of study and internship abroad possibilities. And you see, if you click into the English version, there is a link to Masaryk University students, and here there are very detailed described study placement, traineeship, research placement, offer of summer school, and so on and so on. So if you are looking where to go, please go through these two web pages. One is at our FSS web page, and the second one is on the CZS web page. CZS is Center for International Cooperation. It's Masaryk University International Relations Office for whole Masaryk University. And so that's it for me. For now, this presentation will be in PDF version on our webpage, so you will have an access to all the links which are mentioned here. And now let me invite Wanda, who will tell you about her experience during her stay in, oh, I have forgotten where. Sorry. Oh, oni mi to zamkli. Jo, je to tam. Plocha. Ne. Já jsem to věděla. Tady. Okay, Wanda can talk, and in the meantime, I will find her presentation.
Okay. So, hi guys. I would like to start with saying that I definitely recommend going on Erasmus, but I also need to warn you, you will face some trials. You will face many trials, but I think it will be fun to deal with them. So, when you're choosing your university, I think you should consider whether you're going for academia or for the experience. I went for the latter, so despite me knowing Spanish, I chose to go to Italy, and I don't know no Italian. So that was fun. And I went to University of Bologna, thank you. But as I found out, it's not in Bologna, but in city named Forli. So, thank you. Okay. So the Bologna University has like units across the whole region. For example, the law faculty is in Rimini, right on the beach. So nice. Our faculty is in city named Forli. It's a quite small city, but mostly university city. And you can see the main entrance to the university, to the hub. It's called hub. And yeah, I'll show you through it. So this is the new renovated part. It was actually a former hospital that is still in the process of reconstruction. So on the east wing is still not done. And You can see this from the back, and there are many facilities available. There's a gym, there's also these little red boxes which have their personal internet and connections. And then, oh, okay, so this is the interior, and I was here early in the morning, so there was no one yet. And here I was able to make my student card. You need a student card in order to do everything. There was many like you want to enter the building, you need to have the card. It's only on the card system. So, and it's made via automat. There's like a machine, you put all your information inside the machine, and the machine will give you your card. And here you have the university cafeteria, which is a very generous word. It was mostly just a buffet with cafe and sandwiches, but it was a nice place to hang out with fellow students. Now, let's talk about the classes and administration. In regards to classes and what I've learned there, I was actually really pleased. All the teachers were like natives or had very close relations to what they were teaching, and I can say nothing bad about the classes. I had one class that was named Institutions and Politics of Modern Middle East. It was amazing. We had so many guest speakers, and I honestly learned a lot. However, on the other side, the administration was hectic at best. And I was told repeatedly throughout the whole semester that it's because of the COVID. And I understand, but it was very difficult and trying my patience. So, for example, as Mr. Suchi said, at some things our school is not the best, but at some I think it's the best. So at Masaryk, our system is far more superior than the system they had. They had 5 web pages. They have one called Presente, one called Virtuale, and then each teacher had their own page and sub-page of their assistant, and then there was like university email. And it was very problematic because we as students, we never knew on which page the teacher would send us the notes or the homework. So early on, in every class, there was made a WhatsApp group, and each student was given a task to check one particular page. So we like divided and conquer. So if you go to this school, I recommend you to catch early on in these WhatsApp groups, because without them, you will be lost. And moving on with the administration issues, I've never met my coordinator. My coordinator was absent the whole my Erasmus stay, and they weren't able to provide me a new one, and I needed him. There were like many occasions where I needed his consent, his confirmation, and I wasn't able to get to him. So I was given names of 3 people who were supposed to help me in his absence, who later on were as unreliable as he was. So, for example, when I was leaving my Erasmus, when I was leaving Italy, I was supposed to send all the necessary information to one of them, and only one of them. And she told me, she wrote me an email that, okay, everything's done, perfect, we're happy to have you, bye-bye. And then when I came back, 10 days later, I found out she never submitted my information. She never sent what she was supposed to send to my university, to Masaryk. So I was late, and I was scared, because if you're late, you're supposed to pay some fine or something. So I was like, no. And I was writing everyone. I was writing to the head of the department, to every secretary, to every teacher. No one was able to help me. And I received the help only after I wrote them like very nasty email about them being unreliable. So the teachers were amazing. Like the classes, everything was great, but the administration was very hit hard by the COVID. So I advise you, if you're there and have any issues, be pushy. Don't wait for them, be pushy, okay? Moving on, I have some pictures from my classes. They were, on most of them, there were like minimum of students, which was also great in the regard of participation. So this, one of my teachers, this one was for the Middle Eastern class. This was my Russian class, because why not? I'm in Italy, I should learn Russian. This was my Spanish class. This was the day all my classmates decided it's a Friday and they won't go to school, and I wasn't informed. So I came. It was fun. I had a lovely chat with the teacher. She was happy to have me. Now, to the accommodation. Very, very difficult. The university has its own dormitories, and you won't be able to get in. There are two reasons. They're already filled with the regular students. And second of all, in order to apply, you need something that's called codice fiscale. And you're only able to get it when you're there in Forli in presence. Like, you need to go in person to the office, to the bureau, and they had to give you in person the papers. So you can make beforehand reservation for the accommodations. However, this place called Tower Campus, I want to all warn you from. It presents itself as a student dormitory and accommodation. However, because of the COVID, there were only 6 students, including me, in the building, and the rest were workers, construction workers and some other people. It was very bad, and after 2 months, I had to call police, and I had to call police on one of the other tenants, as well as on my manager. So by doing this, I don't want to like scare you off. I just want to warn you and tell you that there are far better and nicer places. So if you ever go there, I strongly recommend you to look for like a private accommodation. This was a 2-room space. I paid only €200 per month. Oh, yes, I'm so sorry. So I'll move on too quickly, okay? So these are just few pictures I want to show you from the city, the Italian experience, and some, okay, so thank you. Thank you, guys.
Well, thank you, Wanda. It is the experience from one of our university. You do not have to generate this experience. And in many other places, the experience is much better. And now I am inviting Igrim and Jerry and asking them very, very quickly to say something about their stay at Sciences Po Grenoble.
So hi guys, I'm Jerry, this is Aiko. We're going to go real quick. Yeah. So we're just going to be talking about 2 main things, the school itself, so sort of the ranking it has in the university rankings, and then we're going to talk about admin stuff. It's not going to be pleasant, but it's going to be real, so let's go.
So Sciences Po Grenoble is a center for research in political and social sciences, and it was founded on the model of Sciences Po Paris, so it actually basically belongs to the same system of academic universities. And it can be categorized as Grande École, which is a term used to describe the French institutions for higher educations that are separate from the framework of the public universities in France. And the difference is that the Grande École, they admit students through an extremely competitive process. So Erasmus is basically a very good opportunity to become a part of this system and have some experience. And the studying program offers students the choice between 3 so-called tracks, which allow you to decide if you want to study fully in French, fully in English, or have mixed program where part of the courses are going to be in French and part of them are going to be in English. So it's very convenient and useful. And I would not say that there were like a lot of courses available, but they were all very interesting, all dedicated to politics and social sciences, and you will definitely learn something about French political system because it's a part of obligatory courses. We have a very good course that called France, State, Institutions and Society. We have a very good professor. We learned a lot about history and politics, so if you're really interested in French political system, of course the best place where you can learn about it is France. And Grenoble itself is a very good destination for students who are looking for exchange programs because it's ranked by several national magazines as the best city for students in France. And it's also France's leading centers for public research after Paris, with an established international reputation in several fields, including political and social sciences.
Okay, so we don't really have photos because we were locked down for most of it. But we'll try to paint you a picture of how it is. It's kind of complicated because to start with say for example with the dorms, every university in France has their own version of the Crous residences. So they don't really have their individual accommodation services, but instead falls from a central CROUS, Crous residences. And so the problem is when you talk to people, they actually have to send your queries to the main office and send it back. So in that case, it's going to be so problematic to figure out your dorm situation. And in our case, we went in January and we got our confirmations a week before we went. So it's kind of dangerous to go. To her point, to Wanda's point, and to the Vice Dean's point as well, you will find out that our system is very good. In Sciences Po Grenoble specifically, we had 6, 7 different websites. There's one for your schedule, there's one for your classes, there's one for your grades, the one that your professors use, 2 for the dormitory, and if you want to get more scholarships, it's like 1 or 2 other sites you should go to. Admin-wise, it's kind of that. It's always going to be so bureaucratic. You keep hearing about the Czech system being as bureaucratic as it gets, but in reality, the French have it much worse. But like, let's go like to the better sites, I guess. In Grenoble specifically, you could go choose between buses, the funiculars, the trams, and I think some regional trains, all in the price of the monthly travel pass, which is about 30 euros. Also, you can rent bikes. Metro Velo is really good. You should do it if you go to Sciences Po. You could rent bikes for the same price, and if you have a travel pass, then it gets cheaper. So like, that's a huge bonus. In terms of, I guess, classes, if we just have to go back a tiny bit, there was a small limitation. There were you got to choose between 5 courses, and you could choose 3 at most. So it's not that broad, but the selection is pretty good. And just a note for people who want to go there, they will count as C courses, sorry. So they don't count towards your credit goal, 180 credits, that doesn't count. What else? Oh, and if you want to talk about like culture and the city itself, well, there's a river by it called Isère. So if you want to bathe by the river, I guess that's possible. Grenoble is known for being a physically fit city. You could see people in their 70s and 80s outpacing you in runs, not a problem. But also, Grenoble is known for being a very accessible city as well. So if you want to see a city that's been developed with accessibility in mind, thinking of the people who have wheelchairs or who have other impediments, you should definitely see the city. It's wonderful. Yeah, that's about it. Thank you very much.
Okay. Thank you very much, Jerry and Igrim. And last word belongs to Erin, my colleague.
Hi guys, I just wanted to quickly follow up with all the things because I think we've gotten a very real picture of what some things can look like when going abroad, which I think you guys all went through already coming here, probably with having to figure out visas and accommodation and I personally have loved you guys talking about how the MU system is good, because everyone complains to me about the metric system, so this is just good for me to hear. But I just really wanted to emphasize that when you're thinking, why will I overcomplicate my life by going someplace new and figuring out new systems and things like that, to really go back to what Dagmar was showing you with the goals. And I mean, if you are a student of international relations and you think you might want to work in that field, having more connections, more colleagues, more classes from other perspectives can be super helpful. The same with if you're studying sociology or anything like that, having the different perspectives really gives more depth to what you want to do. And in just a big picture thing, it's easier to maybe figure out the whole what do you want to do in life if you meet more people around the world, and then they will say, oh, this is a really cool place to live, so then maybe you might want to try to find a job there afterwards. And I went on Erasmus here 10 years ago, and then I decided to come back here for my master's, so you never know, maybe you will end up changing your life. So that's the kind of more rosy picture that I just wanted to give a little bit of. And then also just to give you guys some space for some questions that you may or may not have, because it's been a lot of information. This is recorded, which means that you actually can go back to it with the technical things. Dagmar mentioned everything's on the website, so I will give it back to Dagmar to talk about the whole questions thing. So thanks, guys.
Thank you, Erin. And I'm very sorry that I have to finish this session because we didn't count on this time. I'm sorry, we had a delay at the beginning. But I am in the room 114. If you have any questions regarding your perspective going abroad, please come to my office and ask, or you can write me an email. Well, mm-hmm. We can do that as well. Okay. Okay, thank you. I think we might have room for 1 or 2 questions. Okay, so, yes?
So I have a question. So I'm in my 3rd semester, and next year I will be doing my thesis. So is there a possibility to do an Erasmus while doing your thesis?
Oh, yes, it is possible, but it requires more work ahead. You have to contact someone at the host university and agree on supervisor there. If they are willing to supervise you over there at the host university, it is possible. Okay, I'm really very sorry, but I have to say goodbye to you, but please feel free to write me or to come to my office at the room 114. Dobrý den, pojďte.
Jestli by bylo potom možné, jak budeme my studenti prezentovat, jestli bych šla první.
Dobře.
Takže stále nahráváme, teď to musíme